Good morning, anyone. Welcome to the Brave Traveler. I'm your host, IR, and today is Sunday. I think I'm going to do a quick one just because I have company coming over. This week was mainly me playing Elden Ring. I think I basically consider myself one of those lucky few people that have beat the entire game without having actually beat the entire game. Okay, so I've done everything. I'm not talking about the DLC. But I got to the final boss, Radagon, and right after that, Elden Beast. And I can beat Radagon pretty much, no problem. But Elden Beast, He fucks me up. And my PlayStation Plus subscription just ended just when I needed it the most. So I wasn't able to just, save, lose, download. No. And so what I'm doing right now, since I don't have the cloud thing to upload and download continuously, I'm pretty much just leveling up my character. And but I said it to myself, and I was serious. I don't want to ever play a video game every fucking day like that again. So I'm not gonna play video games until weekends, And I know it's the weekend, but I've already been playing video games too much as it is. So I will wait till next week. You can go on my Twitch account. You'll see that I played that damn game yesterday for close to 11 hours. I mean, I took breaks. I just I didn't end the stream, so I feel bad for whoever was just there for almost the 11 hours. But it was fun. I'm just not gonna do that again. And I'm looking forward to playing some of the other games that I bought a while ago, and I just never finished them, like Alan Wake 2 or Black Myth Wukong, especially that one. I have Sekiro and Dark Souls 3. So I have all those games to look forward to. I'm just not going to do it daily. It is such a friggin' waste of time. Yes, it can be a waste of time when you do it like I've done it. Daily. When you're not really doing anything else but that. Like it's your job. It's stupid. It's just Elden Ring is a game that came out 2 years ago. Something like that. Well, yeah, 2022, I think. I bought it when it came out. Played it for a really long time. I was mostly collecting the map and leveling up the stats without really knowing what to level up. So of course I was mainly just focusing on strength. And it was fun until I got lost and I didn't know what to do. And I pretty much just shelved the game for a really long time. And it was just bugging me in the back of my head, that everybody's talking about this game like it's the best thing ever. Like it's exactly what Zelda Tears of the Kingdom wanted to be but couldn't. And I see, now I get it. I see now why they were saying that, and yes, I agree. And I took the long way to beating this game. I beat Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1 and 2, and Bloodborne. And it actually did help me further understand what I was doing and what the story was and what was actually going on. I think that, including the fact that I've done a deep dive on reading a lot of manga and watching a lot of anime, I can see that the Japanese entertainment is strongly based on the stuff that was removed from the Bible. Not just the book of Zohar, which is Zarathustra, or I don't know. The stuff in that book is clearly a strong influence in the entertainment industry in Japan. But so is the Book of Enoch. So is the Gnostic Bible, the Nag Hammadi Library. And a lot of people are really confused because when it comes to the From Software games and the stories, because they don't explain very much. But if you've read these books and you know what's in them, there's no mystery. Like the ending in Elden Ring, where it's the stars ending that people like because it sounds mysterious, dark, but hopeful. No, the 1,000 years that Rani, the witch, is talking about, and the moon overseeing everything, those are demons. Those are the reptilians, the fallen. 1,000 years, the millennial kingdom. But the negative 1,000 years, maybe that's a small season. Doesn't sound like a small season, but maybe. I don't know. So I don't want to say that they're evil games. Maybe. But they're definitely talking about that. The little season where the demons are pretty much in control of everything. So if you take that into consideration, it doesn't matter what the lore is. It doesn't matter what George R. Martin contributed, which may have not been very much, especially if all the Hollywood shit is actually just a big gag, big farce. I think George Martin was more like an athlete that lends his likeness or his name to a product, but he didn't really make the shoe or the cereal or whatever. I think that's all it was. You know, you see the name, you like the show or the books, and you think, oh, it's going to be awesome. That's why I got it, because of his name. I didn't physically see him write anything. I saw some of the interviews. He didn't say anything about what he actually wrote. He just said, oh, I did something, a couple of years ago, and something. For the game or Game of Thrones. He did that something, and so they paid him to put his name on their game. I don't know, but I think it's possible. I think that if you don't know anything about the Book of Enoch, the Book of Zohar, or the Gnostic Bible, you'll still enjoy the video game, and you'll think, wow, these people are so creative. And you'll have no idea how much they actually took from it. You might actually believe that, this all came from a manga called Berserk. And I don't believe that's necessarily entirely true. Like, even if they they can fall back on that and say like, yeah, this came from Berserk, which is an awesome manga comic book that I question myself. I've done it before, where I don't think that one guy that supposedly was drawing it and writing it, I don't think it all came from his head. I think that the source is actually these other material, the Bible, the Book of Zohar, the Gnostic stuff that they took out. And, well, you would have to read it so you can see what I'm talking about, but I'm pretty sure that if you ever read that stuff, you're going to see exactly where everything from from software games actually came from. Take a break. Where was I? So in conclusion, the From Software games, the Souls games, they're definitely not for children. They're a lot of fun once you get into it, which takes a moment to get adjusted to the different style of gameplay. They don't hold your hand. They don't point you in the right direction. And you have to earn the story by actually paying attention. You have to dig for story and actually read. You might even have to do research for a lot of stuff in the game that might not be apparent, like crafting materials that will actually benefit your gameplay, since there's a lot of stuff you can make or upgrade or modify. And again, it doesn't tell you that. You're either going to discover it by trial and error, or, you could just look it up online. That's the fastest way to go about it. That's what I did, and I think that's what a lot of people do. So if you enjoyed these games, of course you want to recommend them to people you like, but they're really not for everyone. I think they're mainly for the people that stumble across them and become curious. I can't share them with my daughter because a lot of the images might be traumatizing. Maybe when she's a lot older. But right now, it's definitely not for kids. I think it's not even for the regular everyday gamer. But if you can get into it, I think these are the best that video games have to offer. And it's absolutely true that this is what Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom wanted to be, but couldn't. And it's not that different from Baldur's Gate 3. It's just way fucking better. Baldur's Gate 3 is really enjoyable. I haven't done the multiplayer online stuff. That's on my to-do list eventually. And I haven't really done the online stuff for any of the Souls games, but I think I'd like to for Elden Ring. I just wanted to get through the campaign first of all, because it's huge. It's so massive. I guess the right way of gaming this game would be doing a little bit of everything as you go along. I'm not one for doing things the right way. I do things my way. Oh well. But it was fun. And slowly but surely one day I'll beat that Elden Beast bastard. I had to watch a lot of videos. Like, I had no idea you can actually use Torrent, your horse, your magical bull-headed horse, whatever he is. yeah, that would have come in handy, knowing that I think I've fought the thing, I don't know, maybe like 10 times already. Something like that. And I had no idea. I've yet to try that out. So next time I try that fight again, I'm going to pull out my horsey. So I blocked. That's my solution. I block people when they piss me off, or just because I think that sometimes some relationships aren't beneficial in the slightest. You know, there's really no reason. I mean, if you care about these people, that's one thing. But if you don't, then why are you keeping them in your life? If all they do is steal your time and energy, they don't contribute to your life in any way, shape, or form. They take away from it. So I had this one lady who's had a crush on me for, I don't know, a while. And not sure how I can explain this. We went to school together when we were kids, and I had no idea because we weren't close or anything, but in middle school she had leukemia. This affected her tremendously. And I guess she had really low self-esteem because I had never heard her speak until I was already in my 20s. I'm sure that's not true. There was no memory of what she even sounded like. So she didn't speak that much. And I didn't know she had leukemia. I guess suffering that in your teens really affected her, traumatized her, and must have lowered her self-esteem a lot because her hair fell off and grew back. She has 3 kids from 3 different guys who did not stick around because I believe they just wanted to get off. They were never planning on impregnating her. And since she has a lot of health problems, I kind of understand why she ended up the way she did. But regardless, there's not a lot of people that are going to put up with somebody with her personality, which is very lazy, very, very lazy, and never really puts in an effort because everything is just fine the way it is. That might sound really Buddhist of her. Yeah, there you go. A Buddhist might like her. Now, I'm a kind of a Buddhist because I agree with a lot of the philosophies, but I haven't gone to a temple or whatever to be initiated. So I'm a Buddhist Christian in theory, leaning, I don't know which one I'm leaning towards. I think I lean more on the Christian side just because I grew up Catholic, and I studied more of the Protestant stuff. So I guess I lean more in that direction just because of time. I have more time there. Yeah, I'm avoiding the description. She is not good looking. She is very overweight. And she doesn't know what's right from wrong, up from down. I mean, she doesn't know what's healthy to eat, what's not. She doesn't know how to exercise, even though she tried it for like a year, maybe. She continues to have health issues just because she doesn't know how to handle a healthy lifestyle. I've met her children. They seem nice, but from what I've heard, they didn't grow up right. They have a lot of mental issues, which, they're the type that don't really exist in third world countries. Like, one's bulimic, the other one has emotional problems. I have no idea what could cause that, except that they have that lady for a mom. I know that sucks, but it's true. I think my ballsy nature today has been inspired by a stand-up comedian that I was introduced to today. It was on my YouTube feed. I think her name is Joni Leonarda. Is that correct? Yeah. You can check her out at YouTube. Leonarda is funny. Leonarda is funny. Her stand-up doesn't hold back at all, man. I mean, it's so good. Which, of course, it means that we'll never get to see her become a mainstream comic until she sort of starts censoring herself. But her stuff right now is so honest and sincere. I love it. And she does a couple of videos on her channel sort of commenting on what's going on in the news. Unlike her, I have to sort of hold back just because I'm a man. we get a different treatment. But I'm glad that there's people like her that have the courage to actually say what most people are probably thinking but aren't allowed to. Anyways, I was talking to this girl who likes sending me messages every half a year or so. I don't know why. I don't know what she wants. I find it annoying. It's like, use the fucking phone like an adult. Don't message me. Are you busy? Okay, then don't message me. Call me when you're not busy. Otherwise, you're bugging me. I don't want to fucking type up a message. I understand that can be convenient for a lot of people, but when you're reaching out to somebody you don't talk to on a regular basis, make it a fucking phone call. What's the worst that can happen? I'm busy. I won't answer it. I'll return your call later. That's the worst that can happen. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Hollywood type, so I'm not going to go like, why didn't you message me? Don't call me on the phone. Fuck those people. Honestly, that's just so stupid. That's just me, I guess. I prefer a phone call. You can't do it. Fine. Don't. But when you're consistently only going to message me through text messages, that's just annoying. I hate that stuff. So I blocked her. And she got mad when I said, like, hey, why don't you just call? And I didn't even read her entire message because I refuse to read messages where people are going to whine at me. It's like, fuck off. Why would I put up with anyone's whining? I mean, unless you're my family, and even then I'm probably not going to. The only person I have to put up with is my daughter. That's my family. Everybody else can go fuck themselves. I don't want to hear anybody's whining. If you're going to intelligently argue with me, that's different. Go ahead. You're welcome to it. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But if you're going to start whining, like, okay, she says to me, what do you expect of me? And I didn't even read the rest. Doesn't even make any sense. That was enough for me. I stopped reading and I messaged back, I don't expect anything from you. Block. It's such a stupid thing. This person is an adult sending me messages starting with that sentence. what do you expect from me? It's like, no, nothing. That's what I expect from you. Absolutely nothing. And now I'm guaranteeing that. I think the liberal woke virus has infected a lot of people. Of course, a lot of women have fallen victim because they're constantly being told that things should be better for you if it wasn't for men. I mean, white men. Okay. So I sympathize because I know that if I was a woman, or if the tables were turned and the evil overlords were saying to men, you know, like, things should be better for you if only it wasn't for women or whatever, I'd probably, you know, because it benefits me, you know, I would be like, yeah, that's true. Thankfully, it's not that way, and I can actually see what's going on, see it for what it is, and I understand why a lot of women can't see it. And I think that women that can see it are amazing. Like this Joni Leonarda, Candace Owens. I know there's another one, Rachel something. These women are amazing. They're incredible. I mean, they're as good as it gets. They're top tier women. They're amazing. And but it's affecting men as well. And I had an ex-coworker that used to call me every once in a while to hang out, except I never really wanted to hang out with him because he always just wanted to, let's go to a strip club. And you know what? That can be fun on a rare occasion, but when it's every fucking time I see this guy, it's like, okay, I don't want to go out with you. You're fucking stupid. That's cool to you. Awesome. This is an idiot who has a girlfriend and he wants to go pay other women so he can touch them and shit, or pay other women to fuck them. And it's like, what? That is pathetic. But I think that I got to my fucking limit when he made a stupid joke. It's like, I'm old enough. I'm of the age that I can't even put up with stupid jokes anymore. It's like, you think that's funny? You're an idiot. I don't want to put up with anybody's stupidity. You know, it's communist sense of humor, and which is just a stupid sense of humor. Now, I'm not saying that the commies had a sense of humor. I'm saying that they're programming people to have stupid sense of humor. Because when you lower your standards, they can get away with anything because you'll just think it's funny as long as it's presented in a humorous way. It's fucked up, but that's exactly what's the agenda has been, and it's been fucking working. This is why I curse. Why is it the Japanese have no effing curse words and we have all of them? I would love not to curse. I would love to express myself in better ways. Descriptions, or I don't know. I need to read the dictionary. It's always been on my to-do list, but man, that thing is so boring. I'm still in the A's. Once upon a time, a long time ago, I did read, I don't know, maybe like 8 different letter sections. The smallest ones, of course. And it was boring. I got a little bit out of that, I think, but well, I need to do it again, and I need to do the entire thing this time. The Bible can be boring just because it's so huge, but even that at least has a story, whereas the dictionary, it's like reading the phone book. I mean, you know what? It's a little better, but not by much. So this friend of mine, or ex-coworker friend, he finally gets a PlayStation 5 and he wants to add me to it, and he wants to play Call of Duty Black Ops 6 with me as if it's a given that I have it. And no, I don't have that game. This was before Andy Pants Gaming came out with his video and said that it's just the gayest LGBTQ game agenda'd. That there's really no reason to play it unless you want to be, humiliated for being a white male, and you want to pretend that only women, and especially women of color, are the reason the U.S. military is so strong, the backbone of every fucking war we've had. Right. That's not true in reality. Female soldiers they don't make the majority. There very few of them. So to make a game glorifying the opposite of truth, it's just it's not. It rubs me the wrong way. Call of Duty used to be a franchise I respected. I couldn't wait to play the next one, and now I just don't give a fuck. And I wonder if Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to do the same thing. I'm pretty sure they will, but I'm crossing my fingers. IGN will no doubt give it a fucking perfect 10 masterpiece. Guaranteed. Anyways, so this dude, he adds me. I tell him I don't have the game. I get my games from GameFly, so it's not up to me. It's when they send it out. I guess this dude must have bought his copy. I'm not going to blindly give my money away. He clearly has no idea what the fuck is going on since he did. He's like, Call of Duty. Anyways, he kind of sounds like that because he's a big, obese man. Oh, man. Anyways, every other day I see messages in the PlayStation. He sends me messages like, hey, or something like that. Something equally as genius. And I didn't see it until days later, so I'm like, oh, hey, I just saw this. And again, he'll maybe days later reply, I didn't see it until days after that. And then he's like, are you avoiding me? And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? Send me a message on the WhatsApp. Although I had no idea, but I had already blocked him on the WhatsApp. So I can kind of understand why he was being a little bitch about it. That when I realized that I had blocked him there, because I kind of wanted to block him. He's... At first it seemed like, well, the guy's just trying to reach out, have fun on his PlayStation and play with somebody else, because that is fun. So there's nothing wrong with that. But then when I would reach out, when I would message him back, he just refused to answer. And I kind of understood, like, oh, okay. You're thinking that I'm sort of ignoring your messages. And so now you want to ignore mine, even though I wasn't. Oh, that other girl, she did the same thing with the whole, what do you expect? I hadn't seen her messages. I messaged her back, and because it was like a day after the fact, after she had messaged me, she was upset and she was like ignoring mine. So I'm like, okay. It's fucking hilarious how people think that I'm ignoring them. Listen, I have the ringer off on my phone. I hate that stupid noise. I think that it's like being held hostage, having access to you at all times. I don't know. I love not letting anybody have access to me at all times. You know, the only person that I would ever want to allow that is my daughter. Everybody else can go fuck themselves, and they can wait a few hours or a day. What was I talking about? I'm actually recording this a day after. It's Monday today. So I'm on a different train of thought. And I didn't drink coffee today. I kind of wanted to, but I don't want drinking coffee to be a regular thing for me, so I'm not going to. I'm looking at my list of things that I wanted to say, and I don't feel like talking about them whatsoever. So I'll probably be really brief. I didn't mean for this one to be a long episode, so. And yesterday, I think the last thing I said, because I didn't even check, that's how responsible I am, was I was talking about my obese friend acting like a little bitch on the PlayStation. And you might say, well, you know, the guy, he just wanted to play a game. He got excited. He has a PlayStation 5 finally. And, you know, that's it. Okay. Yeah, I kind of thought that. But I looked into his profile, and he has everything private, which is the stupidest thing for anybody to do on a PlayStation. To make your trophies private. Like, you don't want to know what... You don't want anybody to know what you fucking play. Like, I mean, what are you playing? Like Barbie doll, the video game or some shit? I'm not embarrassed of any fucking video games I've played, because I can play a spectrum of video games, you know, from Ratchet and Clank to Sackboy to Elden Ring and Bloodborne. I mean, they're video games, you know. They're not like... I don't know, trying on panties or some shit. You know, I mean, there's very few video games that you might feel embarrassed for playing, you know, like, I don't know if there's such a thing as a Barbie video game, which I don't see why there wouldn't be, but that's not a video game that would interest me in the slightest. So you're not going to find that in my video game list. I never watched the movie. I heard a lot about it. Really terrible things. It just doesn't fucking interest me. It's part of that Bolshevik, Satanist, communist agenda of trying to get everyone to choose their own destruction, to voluntarily destroy themselves by mentally believing in the opposite of truth. Anyways, he has all that shit blocked. And but there's this one section where you get friend suggestions, and I don't have any fucking friends because I fucking hate people, I guess. And there were 60 different friend suggestions, and it said one mutual friend, so I knew exactly who the fuck that one friend was. I think the last thing I messaged him that he ignored was like, wow, I didn't know you have 60 people on your friends list. And I kind of think when you have that many people on your friends list, it's not because they're your actual friends. You're sort of collecting them like Pokemons, you know, like when Facebook was at their prime, when it was new and everybody was just fucking adding everybody, like people you've maybe never even talked to, just, you know, happen to go to school with when you were younger, and you're like, oh, I wonder how this person is, and you add them. Like, we're now friends because you're on my Facebook friends list. And they're not your fucking friends. It's just so stupid. I don't know if anybody can fully grasp what I'm saying, because
everyone's still using those fucking things. Like, I haven't looked at my Facebook in I don't know how long. I took everybody off. I took everything off. The only reason why I even still have an account is just to use the marketplace to see if there's something I want to get without paying full price. Like, I've gotten some really great shit from there. Like, I wanted a piano stand one time. Got it. It was there. I wanted one of those elongated pieces of furniture for like a big screen television, and I didn't feel like paying hundreds of dollars just so it could be brand new. Got it. Perfect condition. So I love Marketplace. But Facebook is trash. I don't give a fuck to see any of the posts, which is probably why I'm terrible about doing posts on X or Facebook or anywhere else. I'm fucking terrible at it because I don't care to see anybody's posts, so it doesn't naturally pop into my head like, oh, I better put a random fucking post out now. I should, but they're going to all be forced. They're going to all be like one of my podcast episodes where I'm just doing it to do one, just so I can continue the groove of at least a weekly episode. But I have to force myself sometimes. And it's the same when it comes to writing. Like right now I'm working on a story that's really hard to write. Because it's not really about... I'm not going to say it's not about anything. I'm going to say it's about too many things. So it kind of feels like you don't know what to expect because it's not a regular story. I would compare it to The Catcher in the Rye, where it feels like it's building up to something, but then it really doesn't. So then there's a bunch of people that have read it because of the John Lennon thing, and they'll read into it and add stuff in their imaginations like, well, actually, did you know that he died? The main character dies at the end. No, he doesn't. Not at all. It's a fucking lie. I don't regret reading it, and so I'm not going to regret writing this one, especially because it's based on a bunch of stuff that I went through when I was a teenager. And putting it all out there and looking at it for what it is, it's maybe it's therapeutic. I don't know. Not really. I just think that it's incredible. And if I hadn't lived it and I read it, I'd be like, this is some bullshit. But I also think that it'll resonate with whoever reads it because it is coming from a real place. So I'm not having to suspend disbelief and lie really at all. And I think that writing, or like anything in the art field, when you feel it, it's impossible not to resonate, not to have a reaction to it. It has a more powerful, visceral reaction, connection to whatever it is, whether it's a painting, an illustration, some music, writing, acting, whatever. So I think it's interesting not to give it a standard ending. And I think it's also interesting that it can mean this story in particular, which I'm not even really sure what I'm going to call it. It has a working title of Absent Paradise, but I'm probably going to change that. What can I say? I don't like the people around here. So That's probably why they don't like me. Actually, I don't think that's true. I think that a lot of people do like me. I just don't like them back. I wish I wish there were people that I liked. And it's not like I've never met people that I've liked. I have. They're just they're a fucking handful. Okay, so the next thing I was going to mention, which a lot of you will probably not know anything about. When I was a kid, I grew up on the other side of the border before moving to the other side of the border when I was around 6. And so I watched television shows in Spanish. And there was this really great skit show called Chavo del Ocho, which means it's supposed to be a slang term for some guy or some kid or some brat. What's that one show that got turned into a movie about orphan kids in the street? Rascals, the Little Rascals. So it might be like the Rascal del Ocho, which means from the 8th. It's about like an apartment complex for poor people, like the projects, I guess. It's a small little section of living, and there's this one orphan kid, and I guess he's from the 8th? From number 8? I don't know. From 8. Yeah. It's kind of like that one show that I never saw that stars that hot chick from Jessica something, a Marvel show. She's also been in other stuff. I can't remember. She was in Breaking Bad. Her character overdoses. But yeah, she's pretty hot. And she was on a Fox show called Bitch from Apartment, and I don't know, some number. Maybe it was an 8. Anyways, the Spanish show was a skit show, not unlike Saturday Night Live, except they kept using the same characters. And the humor was something that anybody could enjoy. Kids, adults. And so it was incredibly popular in Mexico. I think one of the main reasons why it was so popular is the concept that it was just adults dressed up as 8-year-old children. And I don't know why it was so easy to suspend disbelief and immediately just accept that these grown adults who looked like they were about late 30s, early 40s, dressed up as children and acting like stupid kids, was so enjoyable. And I realized, because I'm actually rewatching these so I can show them to my daughter, and she's really enjoying it. I realized that it's the exact same formula that South Park followed, and it might be the reason why they were so successful. I mean, it's the same concept. It's seeing the adventures, comedic adventures of a group of kids. I mean, obviously, Trey Parker just takes it to another fucking extreme. But I think he must have already known that this formula works. You know, whether it's the Rugrats or any other show that takes a group of young people and puts them through an adventure like Harry Potter and his friends, it just works. I think that unanimously everybody sort of agrees that young people are innocent. And so watching them go through an adventure, go through an arc of growth is intriguing. Maybe it's because it reminds us of, what we went through. I'm not sure that the show is everybody's cup of tea, but because you definitely would have to understand Spanish. If you get it translated, it just won't translate. And that's really the problem with translation. You'll think that you get it, but you're really not. Because there's such a thing as slang. And I think if you speak more than one language, you'll understand that there's a lot of slang or colloquial terms that don't really translate. And if you have to explain it, it sort of loses its meaning. And here's the worst part of that. You might actually get it with an explanation. But how many books were written in different languages that then get translated into a language we can understand, but there's no explanation? It's just translated as if, the translation is enough to get you to understand its original meaning, which is a lie. Which is why I think so many people just cannot understand the Bible. In both the end of the Old Testament and the New Testament, the final book, the final chapters, it says the same thing. It says, don't add to this and don't take away or change anything. And I think that more people should understand that by translating it, it's already been modified. It's already been changed. And the fact that many things don't translate verbatim, they get, their meaning gets completely changed by just, switching a word. So right off the bat, we've all been screwed over when it comes to the Bible, because the translation is a modification. It's an alteration. And if it really states in both the end of the Old Testament and the New Testament that you're not supposed to add or take away or change it, then, they have already confirmed. As soon as they tell you this was originally written like this, and here you go, it's in a language you can understand. Well, I'm not saying they should have never done that, but maybe the actual fucking thing that they should have done is taught us to read it in its original, language. Which I know that a lot of people would be like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about? That'd be really fucking hard. What do you expect it to be, like Jews? Well, yeah. Why is it that the Jewish books that supposedly, the Bible, these are the same stories, and yet they have extra information, like, the stuff with Lilith and her demonic daughters? Yeah, they have a whole bunch of other stuff in there too that we don't have in our Bible. So I think it pays, like Jewish people speak English, but they can also read in Hebrew, and they probably can speak in Hebrew as well. That's amazing. That is It's fucking dedication, you know. I don't know why we as non-Jews who grow up religious, going to church, reading the Bible, whatever, why the fuck weren't we taught to read this stuff in Latin? It's not a hard language. I've studied it. It is such a fake friggin' language. It's really easy to pick up. Or Greek. I haven't really studied Greek. I'm assuming that is a real language and that it would be harder to learn. But I mean, you know, with time you can learn anything. So if that would have been taught to us since we were children, by now we'd know it, and we wouldn't have to depend on anybody's fucking translation or anybody's opinion of, no, this is a great translation, or no, here's my new translation, or, you know, it's, stuff gets lost. It gets modified, gets changed, and it's just not the same thing anymore. Plus, most of us, Christians, Catholics, we know that the Vatican removed a bunch of books from the Bible, right? The Apocrypha stuff, Apocrypha. I don't know how you're supposed to correctly say that. But those are like some 14 books, right? Some of them were actually still in the Catholic Bible, but they were removed from the Protestant Bibles. Then there's the stuff from the Gnostic Bible, the Nag Hammadi, the Essene Gospel, the Book of Enoch. I mean, there's just so many things that were removed. And then I was listening to a podcast today, and this one dude was saying that, most of that, the stuff in the Bible is based on the Sumerian tablets. Okay, I don't know. What book is that? So I can read it for myself, you know? Because yes, you can find out a lot of weird Anunnaki shit in online forums. The Sumerian stuff that I did read is from the Epic of Gilgamesh. And yeah, the Anunnaki stuff is in there. I don't know where the heck they got the whole Adamu was made to farm gold. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying, what book is that? Because if you're literally going to tell me, well, no, it's in the tablet and some people have told us, and they can lie. You know, they can lie. Just like anybody can lie. That could be a lie. And even if it was published in a friggin' book, like, oh, this is the translation, I mean, it could still be a lie. All of these things could be a lie, a cover-up, a modification. I have no idea. I was watching Vibes of Cosmos' latest videos where they finally got around to fucking explaining Mercury and Venus, how that actually correlates into all the other videos they've shown of the domes, where, I mean, they showed it all the way to Saturn. That was fucking awesome. But they completely skipped Mercury and Venus, which is kind of stupid. I think they should have done that one first. Then I should have been getting the reveal of the Saturn stuff right now instead of the other way around. Because that was confusing. Like, okay, where the fuck is Mercury and Mars? So apparently there's the moon map, which is where we're at. And then you go beyond the ice walls, and there's going to be another section that's thawed out. and that's Mercury. And then some more ice wall, then another section that is also livable, and that's the Venus section. This is a short video. He didn't really explain it at all. Like, I was waiting to see the motherfucking map of Mercury and Venus, so then I could go like, oh, that's true, I guess it is. But they didn't do that. So I don't know, maybe I need to look up a map of Mercury and Venus on my own. Yeah, sure, why not? It's just that I don't know, when I was first finding this stuff out, I was like, wow. And now, since it's been like a year, something like that, it's not that it's any less wow. It's that I've settled into the realization that, you know, even if that is fucking true, I can't do anything about it. So in the video I saw today of Vibes of the Cosmos, I could see that there is some kind of an opening by the hidden continent, Lemuria. And I guess that would be, you know, going towards Antarctica. So it's a certain section where it looks like there's a little door, a little opening right there, so you could go into the I guess the Mercury section. Yeah, as soon as you even try, you're just gonna see the Navy say, stop, turn back, or we will shoot you down. So honestly, there's not that many people that could have the resources and equipment to go over there. So we're talking about rich people. But I'm pretty sure that even fucking rich people are going to be told, like, yeah, your money doesn't mean shit here. So take your shit and get the fuck out of here, or you're going to die. How do you combat that? How do you go up against that? They have like their fucking huge ass warships pointing cannons straight at you. Yeah. I mean, what do? You're just gonna be like, they're not really gonna do it. I'm just gonna ignore them, go straight for that exit, and it'll be fine. Yeah, I'd like that too. I don't know. Is it a lie? Is it just a bullshit lie? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. So that's the other thing. That's the other reason why I don't get excited about it. I think it's cool, awesome, but it's not something that I can prove one way or the other. It wouldn't even matter to me if we find thousands of books from the old world that say the same thing, or maps from the old world that show that people used to be able to go in and out of here at will and hang out with giants or whatever. It has nothing to do with my life today, because I can't prove it one way or the other. So it's just interesting stuff to consider, maybe even write a story or two. But other than that, I don't really see how it matters to my life. I think the importance of that hidden information helped me sort of see how the people in charge are fucking villains, criminals, and there is no truth in anything that comes out of the Black Mirror, aka the fucking television. There's nothing. You can be entertained. I get it. You know, you want to watch something. You shouldn't, but I get it. You know, I shouldn't, and I do. Oh, I also spent a good while doing a deep dive on this really funny, really ballsy stand-up comedian lady named Joni Leonarda, or I think she goes by Leonarda Joni. Anyways, her channel is Joni is Funny. And she's got some incredible stuff. The podcasts are kind of stupid, but they're entertaining. I like her shorter videos where she does commentary on the news. Really great stuff. Her shorts are also really funny. Her short videos. I'd go see her in San Diego. And she's kind of hot too. But I think that's because I can respect her, what she has to say. Her opinions are spot on. I love that joke about, do you believe in aliens? That's because you're stupid. They're actually demons. That's great. And very true. All right, let me get off of Leonardo. Let me see. I think I'm done. Yeah. Ooh, damn. I made it. I gave you an hour episode. Perfect. All right. I'm drained of energy. I had sex yesterday, and well, that's. But it was good. It was good. Had some. God, what am I doing? I need to just shut up now. All right. See you next time, and wake up and be intelligent and try harder. Just try harder. All right. Later.